Hey, good morning. So, instead of taking a bunch of pictures and explaining it in an email, I figured I would just make a video and tell you about the boat as I go. It's the 2nd of September, 10 a.m. Wanted to do a cold start so you can see the condition of the motor. And here's the motor. And it is a cold start, so just want to show you the engine is completely cold. Have not run it today yet. It's completely cold. I guess while I have the cover off, the motor's in pretty good condition. A little rust here and there, but overall it's been maintained well. I did a lot of cleanup on it too, but plugs are relatively new. The impeller water pump is new. The sport fin here and the prop are new. All that's new. Everything else is just well maintained. Hopefully there's enough light you can see that it's dry. There's no oil leaks. And it's relatively clean. So that's it. The carb was cleaned last summer, and I'll probably do it again this summer. Everything is complete. I guess it's missing a little cover right here. That's it. Everything else looks good. And we'll do a cold start in a couple minutes. So, going back to the front of the boat, I guess I'll start with the trailer. It's a Pacific trailer, one axle. The things that are new: the tongue is new, the wiring's new, the lighting is new, the jack is new, the winch and strap are new, and the safety strap is new. And when I say new, all relative to within a year and a half. Moving back on the trailer, the hardware's original, so it's rusty. The bunk supports are rusty. Never got around to replacing those. Tires are new, probably less than 30 miles. I spray painted the rims. I repacked the bearings. Everything here works good. Also, this was originally a drum brake trailer with a hydraulic. That's all been taken off. The drums were emptied of the pads and springs, just so they would rotate freely. Lights are new, underwater lights, permanent plates for the trailer, and overall the trailer's in pretty good condition. It does a good job. So, going back to the front of the boat again, you've got your night lights, red and green. They work. Everything works. You'll see later. As far as the condition of the hull, it's in pretty good shape. There is a little bit of corrosion. I hope you can see it, but it starts here and it goes to about here. There doesn't seem to be any corrosion underneath. Here as well, it's pretty clean underneath. This is all relatively new paint, new stickers. It's registered until December, I think. There were a couple holes in the boat when I got it. One of them is right here. I JB welded it. It held up pretty good. Looks like it might need to be redone, but overall it doesn't take on a lot of water, so it's not really a huge concern. There's one on the other side of the boat too that I'll show you that was repaired by somebody else. Aside from that, the body's pretty straight in this area. No dents along here. No abnormal corrosion. There's a dent here, probably from a dock. There's a dent here in the rail. Also, I would imagine from a dock or another boat. Aside from that, this is all straight. Back of the boat is straight. You can see there's not a lot of corrosion on it. It looks pretty good. These are new. Again, new. And pretty normal wear and tear. Nothing serious here. No corrosion along here. You can see the paint is peeling a little bit from trailering it. Hopefully you can see that everything is straight here. There's no dents. Here's that other hole. It was kind of JB welded up, bubblegum style. I never re-repaired it. It didn't seem to be a problem. It doesn't take on water, so there's no issue there. I'll go around to the other side. On this side you have pretty much the same thing. A little corrosion up here at the top. It goes about this far and then seems to stop. There's no corrosion underneath, and there's no corrosion moving back on the boat. And there doesn't seem to be any dents. Oh, there's a little dent right here. There's a little dent right here. I don't think those are from the water. I think that's, again, hitting another boat sometime, or a dock, from the previous owner or owners. Spare tire cover is new, and it does have a good condition full-size spare. It's not a new spare, but it was good condition, so I left it alone. Okay, let's move on to the inside of the boat. Inside of the boat, we'll start at the front. All the flooring is new plywood, epoxy finished, and glued down indoor-outdoor carpet. Here's the deck of the boat, and you can see it has a couple of hatches in there. Almost everything is stainless hardware. Obviously there's some washers that were zinc, just never got around to replacing them, but for the most part I tried to use stainless hardware on everything. So you've got a deck light here. This hatch is your anchor. It's a fluke anchor with 150 feet of newer rope and 20 feet of chain. Inside this hatch, you have life vests. What else do we have in here? Tool bag, distress kit with flares and horns and stuff like that. Everything is up to date, not expired. First aid kit. This is just a toolbox of extra parts, nuts and bolts, stuff like that. This hatch is a built-in fish hold. It's lined with styrofoam. It's not pretty, but it holds water and it does keep things cold. It's got a built-in drain, just drains into the hull. And it's great just to put a bag of ice in there, and then you can keep your fish in there all day long. So that's pretty cool add-on. These holds were also done just like the floors and the hatches, with the same plywood, same epoxy finish and carpet. They've got speakers, 2 on each side, and they are filled with foam as the original boat was. So this boat is probably sink proof, although I'm not going to test it out to find out. And we'll look in here later and I'll show you more. Up to date fire extinguisher, throwable life safety thing. So it's all Coast Guard inspected, up to date. Everything is good and legal. Okay, moving back here, got your electronics, Eagle Fish Finder, Furuno GPS, Furuno radio. It's all new stuff. Everything works. Actually, the backlight on the Fish Finder doesn't seem to work, so it's kind of hairy at night. You just have to use a flashlight, but aside from that, everything else here works perfect. All the electrical is in good condition. You've got a custom-made rocker panel with all your switches for VHF, bilge pump, bait well, Fish Finder, GPS, stereo. The stereo is basically just a media player, so you plug your iPhone or your whatever phone into here, and the other end into your phone or your iPod. and it plays whatever music you want.
Right under here, that's the amplifier for the stereo.
And we'll get into that in a minute with all the rest of the electronics. That's a little waterproof plug, which is nice. And it also has volume control right here. We've got another little rocker panel here with your navigation lights and your deck lights front and rear. You've got a gauge here for the engine oil level, and it also is a temperature monitor in case you overheat. It beeps. That's a new gauge installed when I built the boat. So let's get into the electrical. You've got two batteries. Both are newer batteries when I built the boat.
You control them with the Perco selector switch, which was actually original on the boat, but it worked perfectly, so I kept it. Up here you've got a 120 volt breaker. I hope you can see that. And then the stereo amplifier. On this side, you've got the fuse panel with all the different components, all separately fused. And the 120 breaker panel is a catch-all in case something goes bad. It pops, the boat won't burn down, and then you just reset the switch and everything's back up and running. As you can see, I tried to make the wiring all as neat and nice as possible. Everything is marine grade.
And then you have just like a little storage shelf for, you know, whatever stuff. Phone charger or iPod charger. You can plug in right here. It's got dual 12 volt plugs with waterproof caps. So you can charge your phone while you're playing your music. Moving back, you've got a little pad for when you're driving, which is nice. In here you've got plumbing controls for the bait well. There's another one on the other side. So that's nice, it's easy access, and you can control the flow of water into the bait tank. Cutting board, measuring stick, and the bait tank. Still a little nasty stuff in there from yesterday, but that's what it's all about. Moving back, we've got 6 rod holders. Gas tank is 28 gallons. On either side you've got storage compartments with a cup holder, 2 rod holders, and then here you have your 360 light for the nighttime. In the hatch, you know, some bumpers, a light, fish bat, whatever you want to put in there. And you got the same thing on the other side as well. This one rod holder is missing the cap. Again, just never got around to replacing that. No big deal though. What else? All the floors back here are also new. This one here has access to underneath, and it pulls up. I can't get it up right now, but anyways, you can pull this one up to access any of the wiring underneath, which is kind of handy if you have to get under there. Let's do, while we're in the boat, let me show you the one structural issue, if you want to call it that. There's a couple of cracks in the welds, and I'll show you what I did to fix it, aside from having it re-welded. So I'm going to take this panel off here. It's kind of nice because this is easy to access too if you have to. And we should be in. No problem. Oop. Okay, so like I said, most of the sides are repacked with foam block. These certain ones I left, actually this one on both sides is empty because you have wiring and I wanted to be able to access it. So here's where the crack in the frame is. If you can see, it's cracked right here
It's cracked right here. They were originally welded to the hull, but they cracked. Now, all the way down the support, these welds are good. The welds at the bottom are good. So what I did up here, just to prevent any more damage, was drill through the hull, attach some bolts, siliconed it up. It's been good ever since. So it's really just kind of a preventative thing, so this whole support didn't start to unattach itself. But you can see all the rest of the welds. This bead goes all the way down to the bottom, and it's good condition. It's also welded here, it's good, and down at the bottom it's good. So it's just this top area cracked, and that's how I remedied it. You've got access panels here on the floor. That's to get to wiring both sides. And let's do a cold start so you can see that the motor's good. Give me a second here. I've got another video that I'm going to send you. That video shows the motor yesterday when I got home from fishing and I was cleaning it out. I just wanted to show you in that one that the water flows well. But I guess we're going to do the same thing today off a cold start, so you'll see too in this video. I always use the rabbit ears, so you can see here. I've got a hose attached. I'm going to put them on the intakes. Turn the water on. And I'm going to start the motor. On a cold start, what I like to do is a couple squeezes on the fuel ball until I feel it's solid. It's good to go. Put the choke about halfway. Seems to be the sweet spot. Go here. Turn the power on. I like to put this up. Seems to help. It's got a built-in choke here too if you push the button. So. There you go. First time, every time. It's a good motor. Well, one electronic thing that I have not fixed, the key, I think it's just a bad switch. When you go to turn it off, it doesn't turn off. But if you push it in and turn it, it turns off. I don't know what's up with this, but it's a cheap switch. I just haven't replaced it yet. Aside from that, it works perfect. Got a new safety cap on there, and I've got a spare in case you lose it. Turn the battery off. Okay, so what else can I show you? This is the model, Suzuki DT40. Serial number's there. Bilge pump is original, but it works good. Actually, this one's for the bait tank. It's original, it works good. Didn't replace it. Let me show you the inside electronics. This bilge pump, I replaced that. Works good. You know, yeah, boat takes on a little bit of water now and then, but really pretty normal amount. And here's an extra halibut rig. Oop. Put that right there. We'll get the batteries on again. And let's do it like this. Bilge pump works.
light well works. Turn on the fish finder, GPS. Clearly this stuff works. I don't even know if you can see that in the screen. Trying to get close up.
Vessel Center, WQ0551, channel 16. No immediate danger. Let's go to 7-8. Shell 7-8 Alpha.
Okay, we'll go to 7-8. That works. This guy's great. Bruno GPS. It's got a bunch of different displays that are pretty cool. Kind of radar display, speed over ground, compass, a little mapping thing, kind of like a, I forget what you call it. A couple different displays that are pretty cool. Antenna for the GPS. Fish finder is operational, but it doesn't know what it's doing because it's in my driveway. So that's good. This guy works. I don't know if it's accurate or not. It doesn't seem accurate, but I don't know a lot about outboards, but it does work, so it gives you an idea. Might be working perfectly, I just don't know. It just seems to read about 1500 RPM top speed, which seems low to me, but seems to work. Stereo works, all the lights work. I don't know if you can see the deck light on there. Deck light on there. And the night lights work too. It's going to come with, regular gear. You got some lines. There's some, just boat stuff in there. It's got a new fuel filter. That's in good condition. Fuel system's in good condition. Throttle cables were installed new. Everything back here is in good shape. All the fuel lines, all the steering lines. Everything's good. So I hope this gives you a good idea of the boat, and I'll just do a quick little walkthrough so maybe you can get a good idea. Got some fishing space here, and then along the sides and a view of the front. Front to back is 18.5 feet, I think, when I measured it. And I'll show you the beam. Let's see what the beam is. The beam at the driver's side is 81 inches. Hope that gives you a good idea. Take another look. Let me know what you think. Thanks for sticking with me.